got hot, but it's supposed to get cool again before it gets hot again. You know, one of the 12 or 13 seasons of New York. Anyway, today we're gonna head off and start the IND Queens Blvd Line. And we're starting the part that's in Manhattan, and we'll hit a couple stations in Queens too. There is method to my madness, even if it never makes sense to anyone else. If you're just finding this channel, I pick out places in New York City to go explore, and I take you with me. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. For now, let's head to Midtown. Let's go. In that theater like last week. All right, here we are at 50th Street. We're gonna get started here. IND entrance. We're on the beginning of what becomes the Queens Blvd Line. It starts over here on the west side of Manhattan, cuts across Manhattan, under a tunnel that goes under Roosevelt Island, not stopping there, all the way over to Queens. On this line here, the core section is from over here in Hell's Kitchen, all the way across to 169th Street in Jamaica, Queens. And it was built by the independent subway, the IND, from 1933 to 1940. The two tubes that go under the East River were completed between 1927 and 1929, with a ventilation shaft on what was then Welfare Island, now Roosevelt Island. The express tracks and the local tracks diverge once we get over into Queens for a little while, and then they come back together. That's between 65th Street and Jackson Heights and 36th Street and Sunnyside. West of 36th Street, the tracks split apart again, and some of the lines come in through the 63rd Street Tunnel, and some of the lines come in through the 60th Street Tunnel. We're on the line that's going to go through the 60th Street Tunnel. So right now we're at 50th Street, and that's 50th Street at 8th Avenue, and this is also on the 8th Avenue line, which we've done that line, but we didn't actually stop at this station. This station is a bi-level station, and the two levels opened at different times. The upper level opened in 1932, and this lower level opened in 1933. Queens Blvd Line is on the lower level, that's where we are. The rest of the 8th Avenue line is on the upper level. This bi-level station has 6 tracks and 4 platforms total. The two sides are separated by a curtain wall for almost the entire station. Apparently at the northern end of the station, you can see around the wall. I'll walk up there and look in a minute. Neither level has a crossover or cross under. Here's where there's no wall and you can see through the other side. And then the upper level is the rest of the 8th Avenue line. Up here is where you can see the 4 tracks. Downstairs are the 2 tracks. Now we're at 7th Avenue and 53rd Street. This is a major interchange between the IND 6th Avenue line and the Queens Blvd Line. The northern half of the station opened in 1933 with the opening of the Queens Blvd Line. The southern half opened in 1940 with the opening of the 6th Avenue line. This is a 2-level station with 2 tracks on each level, island platforms. The lower level serves trains that would be heading Railroad North, which on the 6th Avenue line is heading up to Central Park West. And on the Queens Blvd Line, it'd be toward Queens. The upper levels, the trains going in the other direction. So this station serves 2 distinct subway lines that don't interconnect in any way. You can transfer between them, but the lines don't connect at all. 5th Avenue at 53rd Street. It's 2 tracks, 2 side platforms. It's a stacked station, so it's 2 levels. Southbound trains to Lower Manhattan are on the upper level, and the northbound trains to Queens are on this level. The upper level is built in a tube design. It's about 59 feet below ground, and the lower level here is about 80 feet underground. There's a junction just west of the station that's controlled by a tower that's in the upper level of this station. E trains continue west along 53rd Street, and F trains turn south to enter the IND 6th Avenue line. These are the lines where they've upgraded the signaling, and you can tell the trains come pretty quickly one after the other. Lexington Avenue 53rd Street Station. It's 2 tracks, 1 island platform. The station was built 70 feet underground, and because of that you need a long escalator and a bunch of stairs to reach the mezzanine. The extreme west of the platforms, a single set of stairs and 2 escalators. Those escalators used to have the highest vertical rise of any escalator in the United States. It's still pretty high, vertical rise of 56 feet. Now it's 1 escalator and a single elevator to make this ADA compliant. The IRT Lexington Avenue 51st Street Station is nearby, and there's a transfer tunnel to that. That's on the upper Lexington Avenue line. We've been there. Check out that episode if you haven't seen it. Don't know why I took the stairs. Transfer the IRT 6 is down that tunnel. We can go down there because there's another escalator at that end of the platform. I forgot to mention when I started that this is one of the busiest lines in the whole New York City subway system, and it's been pretty apparent today. Lots of people. I've also forgotten to say the dates that the station's opened, I think. All right, so now we're at 23rd Street Court Square, also titled Ellie Avenue on the signage here. This part of the station has 2 tracks, 2 side platforms. The complex comprises 3 totally separate stations though. The IRT Flushing station is here, and also the IND Crosstown station is here. So you gotta transfer to the 7, you gotta transfer to the G. There are 2 passageways that are built to connect the 3 lines. So they started building the station between 1931 and 1933, but then they didn't open it right away because they didn't think there would be demand for it because the other stations were so close by. The Crosstown station actually opened in 1933. In 1936, they decided to finally finish it out as an infill station on the line. The station was finished by 1938, but then the opening was delayed again until 1939, 6 years after the first section of the Queens Blvd Line and the Crosstown Line's opening. I'm not going to do the other 2 parts of the station now because we're going to do those other lines later. Let's keep going. Queens Plaza. The station opened in 1933. It's an express station, 2 island platforms, 4 tracks. This is where the E goes express for the rest of Queens. It's a full-time booth on the mezzanine near the center of the platform. The mezzanine used to be full length, but after renovations, it's not anymore. still a full-length mezzanine outside of fare control, but inside of fare control they've blocked part of it off. Up top here you can see the elevated lines that lean over to Queensboro Plaza, which is not connected to this at all, but it's just like a block away. This is right where the N and the W head north up Astoria Boulevard. We've done the Astoria line. Check that one out if you haven't seen it. The 7's up there too. The 7 turns south after this and meets up with the station we were just at last. All right, that does it for this part. Coming up in later episodes, we're gonna keep going down the Queens Boulevard line. For now though, I'm gonna go back down and grab the R, back to Manhattan. I'm back up to the east side after a good first look at the IND Queens Blvd Line, at least the part here in Manhattan and then a couple stops in Queens. We'll keep going with more of that line later. In the meantime though, if you're just finding this channel, be sure to check out all the rest of the episodes already available up to the east side on YouTube. Like and subscribe, tell all your friends about it, and look for new episodes every Friday. Thanks for coming with me to explore New York City. I'll see you next time.